We got one. Hello everyone, Michael here, and welcome to the unboxing of the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic, or the SNES Classic or SNES Mini. Now, for those who don't know, back in 2016, Nintendo announced and released the NES Classic, which was meant for something to carry people over the holidays, so it would lead up to this Switch. Unfortunately for Nintendo, they got caught off guard and it sold quite a lot. And now it seems like Nintendo is going to be making a complete tradition to have mini systems available each year. In fact, there's already rumors for the Game Boy Classic going around as of this video. Unfortunately, though, it had limited stock, and now you have to pay $400 in line. And the SNES is pretty much the same thing. Thankfully, however, we managed to get ours from an unfortunate... Well, we got one, and honestly, with a system like this, and considering how the box is themed, I think that we should unbox this on a better surface suited for the SNES Classic. Alright, so let's go ahead and just take this thing out of the way. And here is the Super NES Classic. Now, of course, this thing is, like I said before, it is styled like if this thing was brand new back when it was released back in the 1990s. And of course, all here we have all the games that we should expect, including Zelda, Super Mario World, and Super Mario Kart, and Donkey Kong. And of course, there's Episode 2. Now, for those who were probably wondering what's with the Star Fox 2, just a real quick recap. Star Fox 2 was actually being developed, but right before the ship date, it got canceled. And Nintendo decided to include it in this little miniature system, making this thing a lot more valuable than the NES Classic. So, looking at its side we have pretty much the information about the Super NES. Now, of course, it is in 2 different languages here, so we're not going to spend too much time looking at it, because the back is really feature-packed. It includes almost all of the game's box art is if they were released at the time, along with some gameplay stills at the bottom. Also, there's an ESRB rating in regards of all the games combined, considering. And then on the side here, we have information about the controller as well. Now, for those who don't know, the Super NES Classic uses a Wii-like connector, and this is kind of more of a duplicate, not an actual controller from the Super NES, but regardless. And on the top, we have a very simple looking icon that says Classics. And of course, on the back, we have all the purchase information and really all legal stuff. So let's go ahead and open this guy up. Now, of course, we have to open up from this tab here that we saw a second ago, which I'm actually kind of surprised, no tape. So this is going to be rather easy to get out. All right, so let's see what we have here. We have all the information. I think this is warranty and probably most likely a poster, maybe? Okay. So we have the warranty information along with information of how to start this thing. That apparently doubles as a poster. We'll have a picture of the full thing right here. So putting that to the side, let's go and take this guy out and it's so adorable. I gotta be honest, I did not expect it to be this tiny. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, so in the back we have the micro USB power and an HDMI out. And I noticed that except for the HDMI, everything has been themed as the same text as the Super Nintendo Entertainment System as well. We'll just have some comparison shots later on. And of course, we have the all-important on and off button. And of course, you slide it up to power it off. Power it on. Slide it down to power it off. And that's interesting. The reset button works. The eject button, and of course, the cartridge doesn't do anything since inside it's just one big board. So, and on the back is the complete legal information. So let's put this extremely adorable system right here. And, oh, okay, so I guess we're going to take a look at one of the controllers. That's thankfully fully sized. So I've been told apparently this time around, compared to the NES Classic, where it was just, to what I understand, 4 inches or 4 feet, it was really small. They extended the length dramatically. By how much? Well, quite a lot, actually. We'll have a shot that with a ruler to show how long it is, but I would have to say it has to be about probably 4 feet, just eyeballing it. And here it is, the Super NES controller as before. The buttons feel actually pretty good. And of course, these things feel like rubber, and this kind of feels like plastic. All right, I'll go ahead and put this guy over here as well. And it looks like this is the power adapter. The power adapter, or USB to micro USB cable for power with the Nintendo logo on it. I'm a little disappointed, to be honest. I was really hoping that this would have been themed based on the system, but oh well. It's not like you're gonna see it all the time. And we move this little flap, and it looks like we have ourselves the micro USB to regular USB. So I'm gonna keep this connected for now. And of course, the HDMI cable. That's actually rather convenient. And another Super NES controller. And yeah, that is the Super NES Classic. So I really want to do a quick comparison from the actual Super Nintendo Entertainment System and the SNES Mini. As you can see, it's actually a very good replica of the two. Now, of course, as you guys probably already know, the front doesn't work. Instead, you have to pop out. Have to somehow pop the thing out so you can actually put the 2 ports in it, since these 2 are fake. That, and I highly doubt that there'll be a connector this small that will actually fit. It's actually rather hard to put this back in, actually. There we go. So here's a quick comparison of the back. The bottom. And for one more time, the front. So yeah, I think Nintendo did a rather good job making the shell look exactly like the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, look exactly and function like it as well. I'm just a little bit worried about the reset being used a little too much, but yeah, I don't mind. Alright, since I already showed the console in a good amount of detail, I thought that I might as well just show you guys the controllers. So comparing the two, light yellowing aside, it actually looks pretty identical to the two controllers. And really, the button feeling between the two isn't really all that different, except obviously this one's more newer, and this one obviously has been pressed a lot of times. So everything design-wise seems to be down to the T. For some odd reason, I guess they didn't want to label these guys, because I noticed that the L and R, while these have labels on them and actually don't have grooves, these have grooves in them, just to make the L and R, which is interesting. And of course in the back. Now this is interesting. While this one has a whole bunch of legal information in terms of the hardware, the biggest difference is that instead of just saying just Nintendo Super NES Classic, this guy just simply has Nintendo, which is actually kind of interesting when you think about it. And of course the obvious difference with the connectors as well, but that should go without saying. After doing some quick measurements on the controller cables for both the SNES Classic and the original SNES, we found out that the original SNES cable length was 93 inches, while the classic SNES cable length was 56 inches. Now to put this into perspective, from our couch to TV is 84 inches, meaning that I'm going to have to either invest in a longer HDMI cable or have to get a cable extender for the controller. Hopefully this should be a good comparison of how long the cable is and what you probably need to expect. Alright, and that was the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic. I'm going to be honest, I really did not expect the actual unit itself to be that tiny and just really cute. I don't own the NES Classic, so this came as much of a shock. In fact, if you even look at the two controllers right now, it can actually just take over the entire system. It's that small. So yeah, if you guys liked this video, please like, subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell for any other videos that we upload. And if you excuse me, I'm gonna go ahead and start playing this thing. See ya.